billionaire's son fell in love at first sight with a top-scoring girl from a remote mountain village. Her radiant presence on stage captivated him deeply. He decided to find her and confess his feelings. However, before he could act, he received news of his parents' plane crash. His family descended into chaos, fighting over inheritance. He had to return immediately to stabilize the situation. Before leaving, he wrote a letter and tucked it into a bouquet, encouraging the girl to bravely pursue her dreams. 5 years passed quickly. The man finally quelled the family turmoil and secured his position as heir. This time, he returned to get married. To his surprise, on his first day back, he encountered the girl who had captivated him years ago. Her feverish face brushed against his cheek, seemingly stealing his soul. But he gradually noticed that the girl, who should have had a smooth life after graduation, now appeared downcast. This tugged at his heartstrings. Unbeknownst to him, since his hasty departure 5 years ago, the girl had been retaliated against for stealing the limelight from the school beauty. The school beauty falsely accused her of stealing a diamond bracelet in front of the entire class. Although the teacher stopped the commotion, the teacher dragged the girl into a deeper predicament. Behind his respectable facade, the teacher was a hypocrite who wanted to use his position to force her into submission. The girl resolutely refused and was instead framed, accused of not only stealing but also trying to bribe her way out of punishment. The once glorious top scorer was expelled like a stray dog. Her bright future became bleak. She couldn't find decent work. She could only hide behind the scenes, advising others and promoting those far less capable to become popular television hosts. Years later, after landing a job at a television station, the girl was forced by her cousin to attend a social event for her cousin's promotion. At the event, she discovered the leaders there were the same kind as her former teacher. Betrayed by her cousin, she was forced to drink drugged wine, becoming a sacrifice for her cousin's promotion. The boss barged into the girl's room. She grabbed an ashtray and smashed it over his forehead. She ran desperately, pursued by 2 bodyguards. She tried to call her boyfriend for help, but he hung up on her. Just when she was in despair, she met her savior. Seeing the girl run into his arms, the man's heart seemed to return to 5 years ago. He immediately took off his coat and held her close, gently comforting her. The girl said she had a boyfriend. The man didn't care. The girl didn't want to talk to this stranger, but the man didn't want to miss the opportunity. Using the excuse of getting her to return his suit jacket, he added her contact information, but he had secretly followed her and discovered she lived in an extremely simple rented room. The next day, the girl came to return his jacket. The man tricked her into his house. Once inside, she was drawn to an entire bookshelf filled with books she had been searching for. These books were specially prepared for her because he knew her dream had been to become a television host. The man decided to acquire the company the girl worked for, aiming to create more opportunities to spend time with her. However, the girl was being forced by her cousin to apologize to the boss who had tried to assault her. She fought back fiercely, but everyone pressured her to apologize. In the end, she couldn't resist. Her cousin's group dragged her into the boss's office and locked the door behind her. The girl didn't want the tragedy of 5 years ago to repeat itself. She gritted her teeth and was willing to die to protect her innocence. She was about to jump from the window, but she was stopped by a large hand that suddenly reached out. The man was like a prince on a white horse falling from the sky and saved her once again. He held her close and whispered, "5 years ago, I left you, but I promise I will never leave you again." When her cousin's group and the boss saw the man standing there with the girl in his arms, their faces turned pale with shock and fear. They realized they had made a grave mistake.